We've got a lot of important Notre Dame football recruiting topics to get to with Mike. So let's don't waste any time. Irish invasion last weekend. What were your big takeaways?
Yeah, so Irish Invasion, you had many 2027, 2028 recruits, so rising juniors and sophomores respectively in town, working out for the staff, basically just going through a practice, going through like there was like a combine part to start the day, and then individual drills with the position groups, and then a competitive period where you had quarterbacks throwing to, wide receivers covered by defensive backs or tight ends covered by linebackers, and then O-line versus D-line, one-on-ones. It was a really great day. Um, tons of competitive reps, great turnout, really talented prospects. But in terms of the big takeaways, and been writing and doing videos so much blue and gold about this camp, and I think it deserves all of the mention that it's been getting. But the big takeaways was the quarterbacks. I'm only going to talk about two of them just for the sake of time. But there was probably like 15 quarterbacks that I thought, like, man, these kids can all spin it, and all of whom like have like some big time offers. It was a really talented group. Malachi Ziegler came in with the most hype and anticipation, like probably the number one guy that I was, keeping my eye on. He's from Benton, Louisiana. Nation's number 95 overall. Nation's number 95 overall player, number 9 quarterback according to the 2027 On3 industry ranking. 6'3", 195 pounds. He delivered. Was outstanding. Just smooth with it. Can throw on the run pretty well. I mean, these quarterbacks don't run a whole lot and throw on the run, but you can just see during the drills, like, very easy, and sources on the Notre Dame side were very excited about Ziegler, and we'll talk about where things stand with 2027 quarterback recruiting in a couple minutes, Darren. But Ziegler is definitely one to keep a close eye on now. And then, we're talking about a kid from Louisiana who Notre Dame really likes, and I definitely could see ending up with Notre Dame. And then moving to the 2028 class, so a rising sophomore, Nean Lawrence. Notre Dame got him up from Miami Northwestern. He's in the class of 2028, 6'1", 195 pounds. He's got big-time scholarship offers. I mean, Ohio State, Miami, Texas, Alabama, Oregon, Georgia, Penn State, Florida State. I mean, all the offers, you name it, he's got them. And had a really nice day, hoping for that Notre Dame offer. And while the Irish staff is really taking their time with 2027 offers, I mean, they don't need to at 2028. I feel like you can go ahead and offer Nean Lawrence and a couple other standouts who Notre Dame had on campus this past Friday for that big camp. And I got to talk to Lawrence after the camp, and you might think, a kid from a public school, Miami, who's got all these offers, no chance. I mean, I interviewed him after the camp, and what he was talking about, and what he said about he values, what this university values, like some pretty neat things to hear from a rising sophomore, very mature young man. I think his family was very impressed with Notre Dame as well. And then really dominant tight end group. The defensive line group was really good as well. Braden Parks, the godson of Chris Zorich, was dominant. Some really good 2028s there. But the tight ends I want to talk about real quick. Jackson Dollar from Denver, North Carolina, 6'5", 208 pounds, number 7 tight end in the country, was as good as advertised. Seneca Driver, number 5 tight end in the country, 6'7", 225 pounds. I think he's got a case for being like a 5-star type of prospect. He was simply tremendous. Jack Brown from Missouri, who we've talked about on this program, could play tight end, could play defensive end. All these guys we're talking about right now are 2027 prospects. He had a nice day. I know the defensive staff wanted him to work out a D-line, but he worked out a tight end all day and press. And then Titus Hawk, 6'7", 210 pounds, number 16 tight end in the country. He's from Oklahoma, also a 2027 prospect. Long, lanky, ton of upside. Notre Dame really liked his performance. I thought he had a solid day as well.
Let's expand the quarterback conversation. 2027 developments.
No offers just yet as we're recording this, but we're getting closer, Darren. Talked about Ziegler. He had a really nice day. Notre Dame's also having another camp today. I'm going to be reporting more about this at Blue and Gold on Monday. I don't know what time this is airing, but yeah, so June 9th, Notre Dame has another prospect camp. May not be as loaded as the one in Irish Invasion, but still some notable prospects to know. So again, I'll be reporting about that at Blue and Gold soon. He comes from West Valley City, Utah. This is Camden Lati, 6'2", 205 pounds, number 20 quarterback in the On3 Industry ranking. Notre Dame hosted him in the spring. Gino Caduli went out and saw him throw during the spring evaluation period, and now Camden is back in South Bend today and throwing for the staff. So this will be a good opportunity for Mike Denbrock to see him throw. Like this, I think if for some of these prospects that Notre Dame's serious about, like Gaduli went and saw a bunch of them, but we're going to talk about another in a second that Denbrock also saw. Denbrock got to see the next guy we're about to talk about because he threw at Notre Dame last week. So Gaduli seeing these players is important, but then you get Denbrock as well. Like that kind of helps your case. So obviously Malachi Ziegler, Denbrock and Gaduli got to saw at Irish Invasion. Lopati, Notre Dame is both guys are seeing him throw on Monday. Teddy Gerard threw for Notre Dame last week when he visited South Bend. I wrote a story about Gerard. Notre Dame really liked him from what I'm told. And then Israel Abrams, he's from Chicago. So a couple weeks ago, both Denbrock and Gaduli went to see him throw. He's from Montini Catholic in Chicagoland, number 11 quarterback, number 98 overall player in the 2027 On3 Industry ranking. Abrams was on campus this past Thursday, and I had an article where Abrams talked about his visits, and he had a really cool quote. I tweeted it out where he said that in a million years he would have never even expected to be talking to Notre Dame. Didn't necessarily grow up a Notre Dame fan, but loved the program growing up. So Israel Abrams is definitely a guy to watch. So there's kind of like your quick 2027 quarterback update with 4 names to know. And there's several others that the Irish are tracking closely. So I do expect it could potentially be the end of this week or early next week, some offers to go out. And I know I've been saying this forever, but it's going to happen soon. And I'm a quarterback recruiting junkie. I love following it. I've been loving reporting on it. Like I work hand in hand reporting on Notre Dame recruiting with Kyle Kelly, but I use my seniority card and I tell Kyle, you're not touching quarterback recruiting. Like if you go to an event, there's a quarterback there, sure, you can talk to him and everything and do your best. But I love it. So I've been locked in on that. So really looking forward to seeing those first few offers go out. And there's a lot of talented guys. And, for those, I'll say this on Blue in the Face. If you're frustrated about Notre Dame quarterback recruiting in 27 class that they've been, so patient with it. And that's one way to look at it. You could use the glass half empty and say they're dragging their feet. Just wait to see who they end up with. Like, it doesn't matter when these guys commit or when the offers go out. It matters who they get. And I think they're going to end up getting a pretty good one. Like these prospects value Notre Dame's process and that, they still haven't offered anyone yet. Clemson offered Peyton Houston, who's a 27 quarterback we've been talking about for a while. So Clemson was the other program that I knew about that was the only other that hadn't offered, like a notable program that hadn't offered a quarterback in that class. So now it's just Notre Dame, and I do expect them to dish out a few offers here soon.